When I was at uni, like many of my friends, I worked in a bar. I didn't pay much, a bit of extra pocket money, but these days, increasing numbers of students are earning a lot more than that, sometimes as much as £2,000 a month by signing up to websites that introduce them to older sponsors for arrangements, which often become sexual. Janet, I think we know what we're talking about here, don't we? Do you have a problem with it?
Not really. I mean, it's up to the girls or the boys whether they do it or not. I don't really see it as that demeaning because university fees are £9,000 a year. When I went to university, I got a pitiful grant and I had to work as a waitress, very long hours. And, you know, my people skills are zero, so you can imagine how many tips I got, very little. I think it's fair enough. If they, you know, they're not going into it, they're over 18 years old.
I'm really surprised to hear you say this.
Well, no, it's their decision. Their decision. If you sign a contract, it's up to you whether it includes sex or not. I'm not that bothered about it.
See, I agree that it's the girl's decision, and I can say that, but I would be so upset if that was Kira and she felt that that was the only way.
I would be utterly devastated.
I would be really devastated.
Yeah. Don't we have some kind of responsibility as women, you know, to other women?
No.
I mean, you don't think so?
What's the responsibility does a university student who might be bankrupt have to womanhood at large?
We have to get our heads around the tuition fees thing. I'm not saying I support tuition fees, but there is nobody's paying anything up front. It's a loan.
Look,
once they start to earn decent money, they can pay it back, and it's a way that a lot of people buy a house.
Say
you know,
entering into this arrangement is anti-women, or you know, I'm a feminist I'm a feminist and proud of it, but I give women the right to choose how they want to conduct a business negotiation.
Yeah, but don't you think that these girls, I mean, you're at university when you're 18, so you're still a teenager. Do you not think that these girls will regret these choices when they get to?
Yeah, but we all do choices when we're younger that we get older.
Sleeping with a man for money, really?
What are we normalising? We're normalising, you know, selling yourself, and it's usually young women with powerful, rich men. It's this relationship that has been there for centuries and will probably be there for centuries. Do we want to perpetuate that?
Exactly.
What's the difference between a university student doing it and a girl who's a PA or trying to get a foot in, you know, get on in the world, marrying an 85-year-old bloke like they do all the time in America and so on?
Just because it's an option doesn't mean that
two wrongs don't make a right.
Exactly.
I mean, I think there's a difference between you flogging your guts out as a waitress and doing this. Do you not see a difference?
Whatever happened to hard work?
Would you have done that if it had been around? Would you have done that?
Would I have done it? I don't know. It's kind of hypothetical, I think, but I'm not going to judge other women who do. Let them get on with it if it suits them.
It's not about judging them, but I think
you're imposing your morals on people that don't need it imposed on them.
I mean,
in my
personal opinion,
I'm giving them the right to do it if they want to.
In my personal opinion, us condoning it is promoting it as a viable option. I don't want my child to think, oh, this is some. I understand that, yes, some people may do it. Some people, you know, some people might want to be a stripper. I would also prefer my child not to want to become a stripper to pay her tuition fees. Whatever happened to hard work, whatever, you know, you going and being a waitress, I'm like, yeah, I'm all for that. I'd much rather.
So would you say that a university student who works in a pole dancing club, are you two, well, you three with your daughters, are you all going to sit here and say, well, if my daughter got to 18 and she was at university and she couldn't pay cost of living and she got a job in a lap dancing club, are you going to
I wouldn't be happy. I would not be happy.
But you not respect her right to do whatever job she chooses.
Of course I do, and I respect you if that's what you want to choose. But in my personal opinion, I believe that there are other options and better options and options that you won't regret.
And also monetary-wise, there are better options morally, maybe, as in you can work in a bar for £4 or £5 an hour, or you can work for an hour on a pole and get 300-400 quid, and that's what's enticing them.
When you're 35 and you're a mother, and how would you really feel about that being a part of your past? Would you be
does your
proud?
self-respect always have a price? Just because you can earn more money doing something, does that automatically justify it? I would rather that I was scrimping and scraving and my daughter was scrimping and scraving, and at least they had some self-respect, rather than thinking that they have, you know, sold
not going to denigrate girls that make that choice.
I'm not denigrating them either.
It's not what I would do, and I'm not saying I think it's fantastic. I'm just saying it's their choice.
I don't think it's ever right to denigrate other people, but I do think at some point you have to take a stand and say that is not a practice that I condone, and I see real problems with it going forward. And that's not, you know, having a go at individuals.